What's happening, people? Welcome back to episode 7 of the Don Diaries, and today the Don Diaries are actually on tour. We're in Manchester with a very, very special guest, Bethany Dobson. Bethany, how are you doing? Thank you so much for coming in.
Hello. Thank you for the little intro.
No worries at all.
Good to meet you. It's
I know.
good. Yeah.
It's felt like, I don't know, it's felt like we kind of knew each other anyways. Like, we've been speaking for quite a while on Instagram and stuff, so it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, I feel like it's been like years now, hasn't it? It's been
I know.
absolutely ages, and it's just you've seen the growth from day one, haven't you?
No, yeah, your growth has been absolutely mental. We will get into that and talk about it. But with most kind of podcasts that I do, I always want to kind of find out more about the guest and kind of dive a wee bit deeper into your kind of journey, like how you've got into the position that you're in just now. So talk to me about young Bethany. I want to know about young Bethany. What was she like? Were you quiet? Were you outgoing? What were you like?
From what I remember, I feel like there was two versions of my younger self. Like when I was young, I feel like I did struggle with a little bit of confidence ever since like being very, very young, and I did kind of hold a little bit more weight when I was younger. And I always felt like that kind of like outcast person in school, in anything that I did. I always felt like I was a little bit different. Never felt like I like totally fit in. So I feel like that is how I've kind of grown up. And then going into sort of like childhood, family, stuff like that, I didn't really grow up with a lot of money at all. Got my first job at like 14 in like a child centre, and from there I've just been working like odd jobs, and I feel like that's been a big thing for me, kind of for getting me to where I am now. Mm-hmm. And at the time, it's weird because at the time you think, fuck, like why don't my parents have like a lot of money? Like why am I like that? But I do not want it any other way. Like I am glad I grew up without a lot of money. I am glad I grew up without much, because I don't think if I did have all them things, I don't think I'd be where I am now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so you believe like maybe growing up not kind of having the most amount of money, it's like taught you kind of a lot of valuable lessons kind of growing up, yeah?
Yeah, it's almost like whatever I've got and whatever I've ever had, I've had to work for it myself. Like I've never been able to like get anyone to buy anything for me or anything. So anything that I do, I've had to pay for it myself. I've had to work for it. So I feel like from a very young age, that's just been like the path I've been on.
Yeah, instilled in you. You've not been like kind of spoon fed.
Yeah,
at all. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like when I have kids, most importantly, like I will be treating them and stuff like that. But I do think that's the thing that's really.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's a valuable lesson. Yeah, and whereabouts is it that you're actually from then? Is it Newcastle?
No, I say Newcastle just for ease. So I'm from this tiny little town called Consett.
Okay.
It's like 20 minutes away from Durham, like way up the north.
Is that close to the border then with Scotland? No, is it? It's not.
It's like 2 hours away from
Okay.
Edinburgh.
Okay.
So it's not that far.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Shout out Scotland. Shout out Scotland.
Very weird, actually. Whenever I meet new people, they're like, "Are you Scottish?"
What, they say that you're Scottish?
Yeah.
Seriously?
These accents don't sound
No, they definitely don't. No, nobody understands me down here as well. Like, I was in Costa before this and I said something, she just looked at me and I was like, it's fine, like, nobody understands me. I get this, like, all the time, man, but, no, you definitely don't sound Scottish, definitely not. And what was it like kind of growing up in Consett? What's the kind of town like? Is there not a lot going on, I take it?
Yeah, like, everyone knows your story. Like you go to Tesco and you see 10 people you know, sort of thing. Like it's so close knit. And I knew as soon as I was in like year 10, year 11, like I just wanted to get out there. Like it's just not, it doesn't offer anything. It's just small and there's just the same people. There's nothing wrong with it, but I wanted to get out there and just see new people, new towns.
Yeah, there's a big world out there. I was saying to you as well, obviously I've not actually announced this, not that I need to announce it, like, oh, I'm moving, guys, but obviously I'm moving down to Manchester. This is where you stay as well. And I'm the kind of same, like I think just a fresh kind of change, a fresh start, a new environment. I think when your business is going quite well as well, I feel like right now I'm just like shacked up my wee kind of mum and dad's front room and kind of feel like I'm going insane a wee bit, you know what I mean? I'm just doing like check-in after check-in, just losing my mind a wee bit. So no, I completely get what you mean, just getting out there, not that a small town mentality maybe, if you want to say.
Yeah, definitely. Like when I go back home, like I just feel like everyone's just doing the same things what they were 5 years ago.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's not,
yeah, and you
not
want
motivating.
yeah, no, 100% not, and now I'm excited to move down to Manchester. I've got a friend down here already,
Yeah.
which is good. It's like I'm not coming down here and don't know anybody. So what about then? Kind of in high school, you said that you started working at about 14. So did you leave school pretty early, or were you still just working while you were going to school?
Yeah. So it was probably dodgy back in the day, but I was just getting paid cash in hand. I was still at school, like I was just working weekends. So it was at a children's play centre. I was just working weekends, getting like a £5 an hour, which is like bonkers looking back.
Yeah.
But pretty good rate at 14, to be fair.
That's actually not that bad. I'm sure I've worked in Newark and it was like £3.80
£3 an hour.
or something. Yeah, it was something like that, which I don't know. See, when you're young, like you don't care. It's just money so you can get a booze at the weekend for me anyway. So yeah, that was it.
Like 200 quid a month was like absolutely rolling in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was working there from 14 to 16. And then I got my first like legal job.
Okay. I was about to say, like, is 14 a legal age to be working there?
This guy, he was like, typical guy, and he just said, right, work £5 an hour. I don't even think I was on the books. I was just there working. He literally said how many hours you work this month, and I just made up a number. And he was there you go.
Very regulated business by the sounds of it, yeah.
Yeah, so after that, I worked at Tesco from 16 to 18 whilst I was at sixth form. And then I moved to Preston with Aaron, which is a whole nother story.
Okay, a whole nother story. So Aaron's your boyfriend that you're still with, obviously, just now today. Yeah. And so where did you actually kind of meet him? Was it when you were working in Tesco, or?
No, so we met on Tinder.
Oh, you met on Tinder?
Yep.
Ah, modern love story.
Yeah,
I like it. You met on Tinder. So who made the first move?
So it's a bit of like, we call it like a proper fate moment, because I was actually underage on Tinder at the time. Again,
underage worker, underage on Tinder, just not caring.
So yeah, I was on Tinder. Me and my mate downloaded it when we were on like our sixth form break. We were like, oh yeah, let's just download it, see what the crack is. So we just started swiping, and I just forgot about it. And then I went back on it, and then I must have matched with Aaron. I can't remember a single thing. I just remember speaking to him, and then that's it. Mm-hmm. Apparently he remembers swiping on my profile, seeing me and thinking like, she's my dream.
She's
he
the one.
tells me this story, and I'm just like, I do not know what happened. I can't remember.
Poor Aaron. He remembers the story and you don't. That was the same as me when I went with my girlfriend. I was like pure obsessed with her, but she was just like pure didn't really. I don't know. She just didn't really like kind of see me in that way, and I was just like, oh thanks. It's a bit, I could have stabbed in the heart a wee bit, but me and Aaron were in the same boat together, man. We're in the same boat.
You'll get on then. But he's actually from Preston, so Preston's like 3 hours away from Durham. Mm-hmm. But he was meeting his mate at Durham University on that weekend. So obviously with Tinder you have to be within a location. So he managed to get on Tinder on that weekend, the same weekend that I was illegally on Tinder and just kind of swiping for the fun. Mm-hmm. And we managed to match, and like that's like, what are the chances of that?
Also, he didn't actually then just go back on and drop you a message. You actually matched like again, and that's how you started speaking again. Is that right? Ah, yeah, so that is fate. That is fate.
It's mad. So from there, we just FaceTimed, and every single night we were just on FaceTime with each other. And then like a month later, he was like, do you want to get the train to mine? Bearing in mind, never met this guy. I'm 17 years old, and he's asking me to get a train 3 hours down the country on my own. I was like, yeah.
So don't care, yeah.
And my mum was just like, yeah, whatever. But she did meet him on like FaceTime and stuff. But yeah, and then literally 9 months after, his dad asked if I wanted to move in with him.
No way. What, it just is quickly, is that, I take it you obviously get on with his parents and that as well, yeah. You can see, like I said, like, without sounding kind of too cliche or anything, I know we've just met, but you can see that the love that you have for them, especially for being such a young, how old are you now, sorry?
22.
You're 22, right, okay, so, about 5 years or so now?
Yeah, 5 years.
Which is, that is a long time in general, never mind from being like only kind of 17 years old as well. So, why was it that he kind of asked you to move in, and why were you kind of up for it?
Because when I was going to Manchester Uni anyway, and like I wasn't a bit like you, like I wasn't bothered about going out. I couldn't see myself in student accommodation, and obviously I'd be able to save a little bit of money as well.
Yeah, that's it. That's
So,
true.
Yeah, so we just got on so well. We like every like 4 weeks he came to mine, I went to his, and then his dad knew that I was moving to Manchester anyway for uni and stuff like that. So he just said, if you want, Beth can just move in and you can kind of live together. And it's a big move because at 18, meet like your first proper boyfriend, meeting after like 9 months, moving in together, going from like seeing each other every 4 weeks to fully moving your life halfway down the country. It's big.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Do you know what I'm just sitting here thinking as well? It's like maybe I'm more like kind of old school way of meeting, like, and not Tinder, but I just mean like you said, at such a young age and connecting with somebody that much to then kind of take that leap of faith to be like, no, like I actually will like move, you know, hours away from my home and move in with you as well. No, that's interesting. And what, see, when you were saying that you were going to uni, what was that actually for?
So I was studying biomedical science.
Okay. What is that to dumb people like me?
Yeah.
That just sounded far too smart for me there.
So going back, even going into another story now. So I did actually want to be a surgeon.
Okay.
When I was in sixth form. So I did the whole like math, science sort of A levels.
Are you clever? Yeah.
I wasn't like a star kid, but I got my way through school. Like I got like A's, B's and stuff like that. But
Okay.
I wasn't like flying through, if that makes sense.
Okay. And see A levels as well. Sorry, it's different in Scotland. So is A levels like, is that like the kind of highest level exam in high school?
So like there's GCSE, which you do in like year 11 when you're 16.
Okay.
And then when you're like 17, 18, you do higher just before you go to uni. So that's like A level, sixth form.
Okay.
So I didn't really get the grades that I needed to become a doctor, to go to like medical school and stuff like that. So I took like the degree down and did like this biomedical science degree. I knew for a fact I didn't want to do anything with it. Like first day in that degree, I was like actually searching online like how to quit.
Yeah.
I was just not
How to drop out of uni after one day.
literally. I went in and do you know when like you sit in a room, and I've always felt a lot older for my age. Like I've always felt 2, 3, 4 years older than what I am. And like I was just sitting in the lecture room and I was just like, this just isn't me. Like nothing's motivating me here. Like everyone's just, I was like coming to uni as if it was like a job, and everyone was just like pissing off. And I know that's what you do at uni, but I just wasn't interested. I was just like, right, okay, let's get to work sort of thing.
I think that's like a bad environment as well to be in. Like you said, it's kind of what you do at uni, piss about. But if you're somebody that actually kind of wants to not be a pure square or a geek, but you kind of want to screw the nut as well and actually, you know, not waste your time for actually being there. But it just instantly then you were just like, nah, this isn't for me.
Yeah, I still did it. I still completed my degree, got my degree and everything like that. But yeah, it was... And what I say to everyone is like, I will never ever regret doing it. Although I'm never going to use it, it was the most transformational time of my life because that's when I started my business.
Yeah, I think I've spoke about that quite a few times as well. I don't think you can obviously live with regrets. I think you need to kind of go through these stages in your life and these failures almost to almost kind of understand that isn't what you want to do. You know what I mean? And unless you kind of have these times, then yeah, you could have ended up kind of being stuck in something that you absolutely hated. But yeah, so you actually done what, the 3-4 years at uni then?
Yeah.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. And how was that, like doing 3-4 years with something that you don't want to do? Because I didn't go to uni either, but I've about this to a few people, but I feel like uni can be such a waste of time for a lot of people, because I honestly don't know one person that has went to uni and is now in that kind of career. Even like my girlfriend, she went for 4 years and isn't doing anything in that career. Like her friends, my sister, like I just think it gets drilled into you from such a young age that uni is the be all and end all, and if you don't get good exams, etc. But yeah, so how actually was that going to uni when you really didn't want to do it and you didn't want to be there?
Yeah, like for me, I'm the type of person that I just do the things that I needed. I don't do, like, I missed so many lectures because I just knew that it wasn't worth it. I just did what I needed to do to pass the exams and to do like the assignments and stuff. But my advice to anyone who is thinking about going to uni is like, use it tactically to like find your passion. Because if you just, that like, it's the most prime years of your life. You've got 3 years when you've got no commitments and you get a little bit of money off the government to find something for yourself. If you piss around with them years, you then go into your 20s, have commitments and need a job and have to work and not have that time back ever again.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's good the way that you're kind of looking at that as well. Like, you don't even need to necessarily go down the route or the course or whatever it is that you kind of originally chose to do. Like, just use the actual time to kind of discover what it really is that you actually want to do. Is that right, what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And don't get me wrong, like some jobs, like being a vet, being a doctor, like you do need. Like, I wouldn't trust you doing heart surgery.
No. Like, I'm shaky arm as well, man. Honestly, I'm so nah, definitely not. No.
But no, yeah, like when I was at uni, it was COVID, so 2 years of my uni experience was in lockdown, and at the time I was like, fuck, this is an absolute nightmare. But looking back, it's the best thing ever because I had all this free time. I obviously had student loan and I didn't have to do anything. So that's when I got my personal training qualification, and then I started my Instagram as well. So second year of uni that happened, and yeah.
Could I go back a wee bit then? So at what point then was it that you were like that, no, I want to do a PT qualification, I want to become a personal trainer?
Yeah, so going back to Aaron, so I was actually didn't really go to a gym before I met Aaron. He was like a proper gym bro, like at the gym every single
I see him, he's looking big, man. He's looking big, he is. He does look quite a gym bro, yep.
Don't show him that.
His head's like that, says there, yeah.
He loves a good compliment.
Yeah. I'll compliment him all day, man, it's said.
So yeah, he got me into the gym, and after that I went through like a massive transformation. I lost like 15, 20 kg. So after that, loads of people asked me like, how did you do it? Like, what did you do? So I just started posting on Instagram, and I thought nothing of it at the time. I just, that little dopamine hit you get when you get a few likes.
Yeah.
I'll post something else as well. So that kind of just started in second year of uni when I was like 18, 19. And then, so yeah, got in the gym. And then after that, I just had all this free time. And ever since being young, I've never been able to sit still. Like, I swear I've got undiagnosed ADHD. Like, if I've got 10 minutes, I am doing something. I'm taking something off the list. I can't keep still.
Yep.
So if you tell me I've got 2 years off, I'm not just...
You're doing something with it. Yeah.
So I was just like, I remember one day I phoned this company to get a PT qualification, and they were just like, yeah, it's going to be this much. And I was like, yeah, I'll pay it right now. Other people would be like, oh, think about it. Like, I'll get back to you next week. I was just like, just sign me up. Like, something else is going to happen. And then, yeah.
Do you think that was the kind of easiest course? Because I went to college to become a PT, and just because I left like a kind of full-time thing at the bank, so I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, and I was like, I didn't really have any money, to be honest with you, and I was like, right, okay, I'll go to college. But I went to college for 2 years to just get the qualification to be a PT, I know, and learn absolutely nothing. Honestly, didn't learn a thing there, like, and that's why sometimes I'm like, I wish I just kind of maybe try to find the money somewhere and done. What was the course? Maybe 6 weeks or something that you done? Or?
Yeah, it was a piece of piss.
Yeah,
honestly,
college was a piece of piss as well. To be fair, but it was just over a very longer period of time, which was a bit brutal.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like I said, because I literally had every single day off, I was just spending like 5-6 hours on it a day, and I'm pretty sure I got a box off in like a month.
Did you? Right.
It was mad, but you don't learn anything on it. Like, everything that I've learned has been from personal experience.
Exactly.
Taking clients through it. Like, if you just trust someone from just having a PT qualification, you're gonna get absolutely nowhere.
But everybody doesn't even, like, there's so many people that don't even have qualifications now, but everybody's like a PT now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's so many people that, like, they don't even have a qualification, but you can just say that you're an online coach, I'm sure, as well. But I think the industry needs to be regulated a wee bit better as well.
Oh, 100%, because every Tom, Dick and Harry's a PT nowadays.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was interesting what you said as well. I'm pretty similar to yourself. Like, I can't sit still. See if I've got like 10 minutes, like I couldn't just like sit back and chill. I feel like I'm always get a million and one thoughts like running through my head 24/7. It sounds like yourself. I feel like we're very, very similar, obviously. But yeah, I'm the same. Like a million and one thoughts running through my head, and people think I'm mental, but I'm just non-stop and I feel a wee bit uneasy if like I'm not doing something. I feel like other people are getting ahead of me, if that makes sense. And it's probably a good mindset to be in, but it can also be a wee bit, a wee bit too much sometimes as well. How do you think, has Aaron been very, very supportive with you? Because you're obviously so busy. So do you think that you've got quite a good kind of relationship like that where he's very supportive, or do you find it quite hard to spend time with each other? Or?
We've got a really good relationship, really good. Like I'm not gonna lie, but when we first started the business, it was hard to kind of get that balance, and even still now, like it is quite hard to just stop and become like in a relationship and then become in like a business relationship. Like it's really hard to kind of have both in the same dynamic, but we both share like the same passion, so it does really work. And I mean, Aaron is just the most supportive person ever. Like whatever like mad idea I've got, he's just like, yeah, let's
Do it.
To be fair, I am the risk taker. He is the thinker.
Right.
Like he reins me in a little bit, but sometimes it's needed. Like I'll just be like, I want to do something, let's do it.
Yep.
But he's like, right, let's think about how it's going to happen first. Let's think about the risk.
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
We have a good balance because I think I'm the risk taker that does things and pulls him forward, but he pulls me back in the right moments where
Yeah.
fuck things up.
Yeah, not 100% agree. And again, not to just relate it back to me and my girlfriend, we are actually the opposite. So I'm the risk taker, but she is, like you said, quite like sensible and maybe not as impulsive. Like even when we were looking for places in Manchester, I seen that, I was like, let's get this place like now and all that. And she's like, let's just like calm down for a second, Adam. Do you know what I mean? But no, I'm the exact same as well. But I think that does work really, really well from personal experience, because you need somebody that is the risk taker that's impulsive, but then you also need the other person to show you like a different kind of side of things. And it works well together. It's kind of like a yin and yang almost, if you want to say, yeah.
100%. We always say that because I think from like, honestly, you could ask Aaron this on our like the second time meeting each other, we were already thinking about what business we were going to have. Like literally before we even established boyfriend and girlfriend. I remember so we met on the 1st of December. I remember it being cold outside. I had my MacBook open and we were like on Microsoft Word, copy and pasting like t-shirts and like drawing logos on it. Like ever since we first met, we always knew that we wanted this like freedom together. And it's mad because we've got photos of it and we've got like the actual document that we made at that point. And it's just crazy. From day one, he like was obsessed with like watching YouTube videos and stuff like that, but he was stuck in like a 9-5 job, and I feel like he never had that risk taker mindset to go for it. And I think when I was in the picture, I was like, right, let's do it. Let's make it happen. So yeah, it's worked really well.
Yeah, no, that's really good. So when you then obviously started your personal training, you get the qualification, were you a kind of case of it was like very successful as soon as it kind of kicked off? No? You're meant to face at me? No, right, okay. Because honestly, people would look at you now and just, see all the followers and see how amazing you're doing and probably just assume that it's like always been like that. And yeah, I want to know, like, how was it when you were first kind of starting your journey?
Yeah, so I started my business. It was BD coaching back in the day.
BD coaching.
That was the original.
The OG.
So thoughtful, isn't
original. Must have took you ages to come up with that there. Yeah.
So yeah, BD coaching is where it first started, and that was in July 2021. For about like a whole year, I had about 7 clients. Like it wasn't shifting, it wasn't budging. It was like someone down the road asking me what my services were. Like it wasn't going anywhere. So that's where it all started. For a whole year, I was just not really shifting. It was just kind of staying the same. And it got to July sort of 2022, and that was the year that I finished uni. And I remember Aaron's dad kept on saying like, oh, what job are you going to apply for? I was like, job?
Yeah.
I have a job.
Yeah.
What are you saying? But obviously they could see from the outside that I was probably earning like 900 quid a month from online coaching. It's not really going to get me anywhere. So I was applying for these jobs on the side with my degree, like on Indeed. I think I was applying for like social media jobs, which is very ironic. And I think it just really pissed me off how everyone else was just saying, what job are you going to get? Like I knew that I was so much better than a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm going to make this happen. I literally have 2-3 months until I finish uni. and I'm going to have to get a job if I don't make this happen. I seen Aaron, so Aaron was an accountant. Ever since we met, like, he was doing like the 9-5. I seen it. It was horrible. Like, he just had no freedom. He only had his weekends. Like, he had to do what everyone else told him to do. Like, I seen it through and through, and I was just like, nothing scares me more than that.
Yeah.
So my motivation when I was like mid through my third year of uni was like, if you don't get up and get going, you're gonna have to do that.
Okay.
So I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna have to work my ass off here. So how it all happened is I was, like I said, getting absolutely nowhere with it, and I invested into my first business mentor when I was 19, I think, 19 or 20, and that cost me £600 a month. Bear in mind, I was earning £900 a month at that time. So massive risk. I was like, right, this is literally taking like the majority of what I have. But I just went for it, and that was a massive changing point for me.
Okay. And how with the business mentor then, what kind of things that what was it that you kind of started off doing that you noticed, right, okay, this is improving?
Yeah, so I was just kind of copying off Every Man and the Dog with BD coaching. I was just kind of winging it with the business. But I guess getting a business mentor first, making an investment shits you up. Again, it's like, holy shit, I've just spent 600 quid out of the 900 I have on a business mentor. Like, that kicks you up the arse to be like, you have to make this work, otherwise you've got nothing.
Yeah.
And I was locked in for like a 12-month period as well, so it was like, you're just gonna have to make this work. Within the first 4 days, I made that money back.
Amazing.
So obviously just teaching you the basics of like marketing and getting leads and just being a decent person, really.
Yeah, I think it brings so much like more structure and organisation, because obviously I'm with Linus now and with kind of business mentors, but yeah, I was always the kind of same. I was always maybe hovering around about kind of 15 or so clients, and then I started with them in January this year, and then that's me like approaching triple digit clients now, and that kind of short window of time of just being with them. And again, see, before I went on with them, I was like, this is a risk, you're paying a lot of money, like what if it doesn't work? But I was just in the mindset, I'm like, you've got to take this, you know what I mean? You would be annoyed at yourself if you let this opportunity pass. But I think just having like systems there in place and being so much more structured and organised is the main kind of component for obviously picking up clients as well. So when the kind of business mentors came in, you said obviously after the first few days you made that money back. Was it a case from there like it just grew massively, or was it still a kind of slower rate of growth? Or
Since July 2022, it's just been grown massively ever since. I think from in July 2022, I was making around about £1,000 a month. In December 2022, I think I hit 12k a month. So it from someone who's just finished uni, people telling me that I'm gonna have to get a job and like shitting up as to whether like I'm gonna actually make it. Then like 3 months later, 4 months later, earning like 12k a month.
how do you wrap your head around that? There's a question. It's hard, isn't it?
It's mental. Like but you'll understand this. 12k sounds like a lot, but when you get there,
and then you're not happy. I know, then you're not happy with
then
it.
you want more.
And that sounds so terrible as sitting saying that, but again, it shows the kind of the character and the kind of mindset that you've got as well. I'm always somebody that I'm never satisfied. But that, I've spoke about this a few times now, that can be a curse though as well, because you never actually really like kind of reflect on, you know, things that you've achieved. You've achieved things that you wanted to achieve ages and ages ago, and then you achieve it and then you're just like, oh right, okay, cool, whatever, but you know, this could be better or that would be better. But I seen a quote, what was it again? Sometimes we're so obsessed with the future we forget we're in the middle of what we used to pray for.
Yeah.
That's deep, man, isn't it? It's deep. It's deep. And I seen that the other day, and I don't know, I just keep thinking about it because I have been so guilty of that, and I feel like life just kind of passes you by a wee bit when you're like more and more and more, what's next. But yeah, I'm trying to get better at just kind of taking a wee step back and reflecting on things as well. But like you said, it is kind of crazy because you just don't even really think about it. Like when you were making 1k a month, if somebody told you at that point in time you're going to be making 12k a month, you would have been fucking buzzing. chewing their hand off, and then when it comes, it's just like, right, okay, what's next?
What's next?
Yeah. But that's all down to you as well, though, because again, you could have let maybe other people's opinions maybe stop you from pursuing the career in fitness, but you were like, no, I'm determined, like, I am going to make this work. 100%, yeah.
100%. And the thing that I the thing that I'm really grateful for is my sister as well. So my sister Sophie, she kind of had a following on Instagram around about like 20-30k followers when I was like on like 2-3k followers, and she like let me see that there was potential in the online space. So she had her own business.
What was she doing online?
So she does like affiliate marketing, influencing, and she does FM.
What's FM?
So it's like network marketing. So she kind of like sells perfumes as on a behalf of another company, and
right.
It's like kind of like a you have people underneath you, and they make like commission stuff like that. So she was making like 50k months, and like I was like, holy shit, like this can actually happen. Like you can make that money from your phone. So she kind of like let me see what it was like, and then I was like, this has got to work elsewhere. Like that you've got to be able to do it. And I seen so many other people I followed on Instagram who was with this business mentor that I was with at the time. They were sharing their wins and stuff, and I was like, I'm missing something here. There is a possibility.
It's hard to. Again, it is hard because see, when you see all these people with business mentors, it's hard before you sign up because, yeah, you've got that thing in the back of your head, like, what if this doesn't work out? And, you know, I've spent all of this money, etc., etc. But no, you'll obviously be glad that you obviously went on board with them. And have you always just been online, or have you done one-to-one PTing as well?
I've never trained a person in.
Have you not? No, you've just kind of went fully online as well. See, to be honest, I think that's the way that everything's going. I worked one-to-one PTing for maybe about a year, or maybe not even a year, before I went fully online in January. But I remember, like, before I actually got the job in the gym, I was like, oh, my end goal is always to be online. But I thought it was going to be like 5-10 years down the line. I thought I was going to, be like 5 years of work to build up all the clients so I could eventually kind of move online. But was there ever a part of you that wanted to do the one-to-one, or were you just happy just being fully online?
I did meet a couple of local clients just for like the odd session, sometimes weekly, when I wasn't on as many clients. And I did enjoy it, but even after like one session, you just got so fatigued. Like I get so socially, mentally drained. Like once I'm with someone or like out with people for a full day, I'm like, I need to go to bed. Like,
yeah.
I just can't.
You'll need that after me, by the way. You'll be fucking sick of me, man.
All right now.
Yeah.
I'll let you know though.
Okay, yeah, just let me know if you need to go out the road.
So yeah, after I was like, and it's not giving you the freedom. You just, you're making more than the average person being on the floor PT, but you're stuck in a sweaty gym for like 14 hours a day. It's just not for me.
Yeah, I think the struggle that I found was when I started getting like more followers and becoming a bit bigger on social media, I then had to juggle everything. And it was very, very hard because I was up at like 5 a.m. to go into the gym to do one-to-one sessions, and I'd maybe be done at about 10, 11. Then I'd go home for a couple of hours, but in that couple of hours I was then making, you know, a recipe or a video, which takes hours, by the way. Can we both like agree on that, all right? And tell the people out there, because I've seen so many wee comments, people saying that videos, they must take like 10 minutes, you're just cooking something. I'm like, see, from start to finish, like videoing, editing, cooking the actual thing, they take hours. It's a graft. And I'd had a few comments as well, people being like, oh, shut up, you just do like recipe videos. And I'm like, I'm not saying it's the most impossible thing in the world to do, but it's a graft making content, and I don't think people realise that as well.
No, 2 to 3 solid hours of my day is making, editing, posting content, like flat, at least.
Yeah.
It's a graft.
No, it is. It's crazy. I think you've got that pressure as well of like, you can't fall off. Like, you can't just stop posting like ghost for like a week, because then people just start to kind of forget about you a wee bit as well. So
you've seen them people, haven't you, that
grow
and then they just come.
I know, and you're like, I know.
And they go down again.
I know, and they pure post something like after like months, and I'm like, fuck, where have you been? But
you?
I just don't understand that though. Like, I don't know if you're similar, but I just think when you're in that position, what is the point in like, you know, giving up when things are kind of growing? And I don't know. But that is one of the things that I struggled with, see, being a one-to-one PT, trying to like fit everything in, so you'd be back in for maybe a wee odd session. So it got to a point I was just like, listen, I can't do these 1-to-1 sessions anymore. I'd rather just take the hit and maybe drop like 5 clients, and so that I could kind of transition and move fully online. So see, when you got the business mentor, what kind of stage was this? What year? What kind of month was it?
So it was July 2022.
Oh, so you actually got the mentor in July 2022.
Yeah.
Right, okay, and then it just picked up from there going into...
Yeah.
So it's been very, very quick then.
Yeah.
Very quick. Jeez, oh man, that...
Absolutely insane. So July 2022, got the business mentor. We finished the year, like I said, on like 12k months. So that was like, holy shit, like how is the rest of my life going to look now? I never even knew that was
Possible.
even possible. And then in such a short space of time, like we've just unlocked so much potential. So I guess from the start of this year to now, it's literally just been go ever since. And I can definitely say that you can probably see it in my voice right now. I've probably hit burnout, and that it was gonna come one way or another, especially like with recipe book and just juggling everything.
You need to watch yourself on that as well, because burnout's like a very, very real thing as well. I don't know if you've seen any of the other podcasts that I've done, but I spoke about that as well, and I've kind of opened up a wee bit more about like my kind of mental health a wee bit this year, because it's not something that I've really ever kind of dealt with or faced. But this year I definitely experienced burnout, and it was awful, like genuinely awful, to the point that I was like, felt so physically unwell because I was that mentally drained. I don't know if you remember, I went to Tenerife like for a week myself, and that was at the time, this was, when was it? It was maybe like May time, because I was doing that photo shoot, and then I had no like kind of outlet of like being like a stress reliever, and you're so like dialed in. It's like almost like you're doing a bodybuilding kind of prep. But that was when like my business was at its busiest, and I just felt like, again, I was kind of going insane. So I was like, fuck this, I'm away to Tenerife for a week, and just having days where I'm not even like going on my phone. But burnout is like a really, really real thing, and you need to be aware of it and know when to kind of take breaks and relax as well. And what would you say that you're kind of starting to feel burnt out now?
I wouldn't say I'm like totally burnt out. Like I've still got my drive, I've still got everything in me, but I think just daily like going on my phone, I'm just getting bad heads, and like, you know, when your eyes are burning when you're on your phone.
Yep.
And I think it's because I've got such a high standard for everything, I just can't let it go, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I can see that your brain's like kind of similar to myself, just ticking 24/7. I know it's weird. It's a weird kind of position to be in, but you're handling it very, very well, very well. So let's talk about that kind of growth then as well. So this was about kind of December time. You'd mentioned obviously what you were doing. Can I ask you how kind of many clients were you on at this point by kind of Christmas time?
So by Christmas, it was still just me on my own in the business. I think around about 40 clients at that point. And then I was getting to the point where I was like, I can't do much more than this.
Yeah.
Like coaching clients, doing consult calls, growing the business, posting every single day on social media, every single thing that comes with a business, like you're just wearing every single hat. So at that point, obviously me and Aaron had this dream of working together. We wanted to do the thing together, and he obviously had like a career, like an absolute career in accounting. And so I said to him, like, do you want to come on to be our next coach? Like, do you want to help me on this? And he was in two minds of doing it, just because obviously it was a lot of trust in me, you know, like leaving his full career.
Oh, so you were actually saying like leave your job as an accountant to come full time? Right, okay, sorry, I thought it was just like kind of just stay with the accountant, but obviously do this on the side. No, you're like that, balls deep, Aaron, let's go. Yeah.
Because the thing is, like I said, his 9-5, it wasn't just something that you could just, you know, log off early. They were so strict. Like he was working like 8-6 and then having to do more things after work. Like he was constantly working, and then he had exams on top of that to pass like his accounting exams. So like there's absolutely no wiggle room for him to even think about anything else. So he literally saved up, I think, like a month's worth of earnings, and he quit his job.
Really?
He just quit his job.
That's crazy.
And I basically laid it out to him, and I was like, this is the last opportunity you have in your entire life to do this. We get a house, we move on and have commitments. Like, you're not going to be able to just leave your job. We're living at your parents' house. Like, we've got board to pay that's like 100 quid a month. This is the only time in your life that you can quit your job. and not have to stress about it.
Yeah.
So he did it. And at the time, like everyone, like I had so much trust the process in this business. Everyone around me didn't. No one trusted the process. No one seen it.
Who, as in like friends, or was it family or
Family.
family? Right. Okay. Okay.
So, and these, they could watch it back right now and know that this case, and now they have they are absolutely rooting for us. But at the time they were stressing because their son had just left
Yeah.
his like big career, you know,
Yeah.
big accountancy career. And it was stressful because it was a big thing. But like they accepted it, but at the beginning there was a little bit of like, I don't know whether this is gonna work. Like, are you sure about it? Da, 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 da. And then I got Aaron his first couple of clients, and we got up to the point where like he was earning the same amount as what his job was earning, and he was doing like an absolute fraction of the work as what it was. And then we rebranded to It's Doable Coaching. So it was no longer BD Coaching. We left that behind.
No.
And
Sad. R.I.P. BD.
Yeah, she's no longer.
Yeah.
And then we rebranded to Doable Coaching because we wanted it to be just so much bigger than us, and like that is the mission going forward. Like we want it to be the biggest, best service to become the best version of yourself. And we knew that that wasn't going to stand as BD coaching. Like it's not just me, it's a community. And it's funny, doable obviously comes from like anything is doable, anything is possible if you put your mind to it, but it's spelled DOABL. So DO, Aaron, Bethany, and then Lonsdale is his last name. So it kind of works well.
No, it does. It really works well, yeah.
And I remember in lockdown, it was like one of them really hot days in lockdown where you were just laying outside and it was just gorgeous. I had like this A3 bit of paper, and like me and Aaron's mum were searching on Google like different signs and stuff like that. And we made this logo. We literally sketched it out on like this A3 bit of paper. Back in lockdown, I wasn't even a PT at this point. Like before BD coaching, we were doing this like doable brand. We didn't even know what we were going to do with it. This was before I was a PT. Like before I was a PT, before I was even thinking about being a PT, we made this doable logo because me and Aaron just like I said, from the moment we met, we just wanted this thing that we could both like have.
Yeah.
And we were making we were spending literally days on days on days making really like graphic content, and
For nothing.
it got like 2 likes. Like I was spending a full day on Photoshop, like making sure like the font was right and everything like that. And it got like 2 likes. And looking back now, I did not have a clue. But you need to go through them steps in business
100%.
to get to this point. So yeah, doable was a thing before BD coaching, and then
That's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy because it's almost like that kind of manifestation a wee bit as well. The fact that you already had the name, the kind of logos, the branding, but you just didn't actually know what it was for. That's actually, it's mental.
It's mad. And I remember in lockdown, Aaron's mum like had this camera because she like taking photos, and we got like an old duvet cover, set it up, and like did a whole like photo shoot in lockdown in Aaron's mum's conservatory. Like
in a photo shoot for what?
We made a website. I made a full-on website for nothing. I had nothing to sell. No service, no product. Like we just
welcome to Doable. Yeah. That's it. The end.
We even made an Instagram page and did a giveaway.
What? So it's just when you done the Instagram, was it just the logo and the name was on it, and that was that?
And this like graphic, like really detailed Photoshop pictures of like what you should include in your gym bag. Like it got like 5 likes, but we got like all our families, all our friends to follow it, and we just then life got in the way, and then it was just nothing.
Just left it. Yeah. But now look at it.
Yeah.
Now look at it.
It's mad. And
that's crazy.
I started BD coaching because Aaron had no interest in doing anything at that point because he was doing his account and stuff, and everyone just thought it's just a little side thing. And then it was like, right, we're gonna do this now. Oh yeah, doable. What about that? Let's actually make this a thing.
No, that's I know it's so crazy to think about the fact that like you had all this, like the branding that you have today, that you had this years ago, but it was just for nothing. That's crazy. About the fact that like now, obviously, like look at it, like it is blown up, and obviously it's doing so well. So No, that's insane to think about. So then when Aaron comes on board, so was it a case of you announced, this is Aaron, this is one of our new coaches? So were you getting inquiries that you were then passing off to Aaron because you were too busy, you were at full capacity, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we didn't say like this is a new coach. We said like this is now like a rebrand. Like Aaron is part of it now. And at first I was thinking like my client base are females. How are they going to react to being coached by a male? And like I had so much. I just didn't believe it was going to happen. I went on my first sales call since when Aaron was on board. I was like, they're not going to sign up. And I was like, okay, so Aaron's going to be a coach. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And I was like,
And they were fine with it, yeah.
oh wow, like that's not an issue at all. Okay, so we got Aaron to full capacity like within a couple of months,
And what was full capacity?
like 50-60 clients.
Okay. And that was his clients, that was his own, not yours?
So it was like doables clients.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yes, but I didn't coach them.
Yeah, but Aaron coached them.
Yeah.
Right, okay, cool, yep.
Yeah. And then obviously Aaron got to full capacity and the business is growing, and you'll probably know yourself that like there's so much more just to coaching clients. Like there's so much back end that needs to be done on a daily basis, so many systems that need to be like replaced, and for us to actually grow further we needed more people to help us out. We need more people as part of the business. So in like May, June time, we made our first external hire, who is Lucy, our next coach.
Okay, amazing. I've seen Lucy on like your social medias and stuff. So was she an old client of yours?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah, so Lucy was actually one of my first clients. She came to me years ago. She had quite a bad relationship with food, and since being coached by me, like she has just totally changed. Like her outlook on life. She got a period back. Like she doesn't fear calories anymore. Like she's just absolutely, like she just excelled her whole journey, and like she was a massive inspiration to me. And for me, I would much rather someone who I've taken through the journey myself, someone that I've known for years, someone that I know the work ethic, the discipline to be part of this mission with us. So I asked her to be our next coach. Bear in mind, she had a full-time job. She had like a career in place, and she quit her job after 2 weeks of being with us.
After you kind of spoke to her, or as in like she'd done it for a couple of weeks and seen, oh my god, like this is growing.
Yeah, so within 2 weeks, she like within 2 weeks we got her up to around about 20 clients.
That's amazing.
And she was like, it's stupid if I don't quit my job right now.
I think you're a very good saleswoman. That's two people that you've managed to like convince to just drop your life and come on board with me and come onto my business. That is honestly amazing. The fact that was one of your clients, like she's obviously had an eating disorder and really struggled, and then the fact that you've seen her progress, but then because that's you putting a lot of trust in her, like your first external employee, and for somebody that wasn't actually like a kind of PT or didn't really have like an interest in going in to do it. That's amazing.
It's mad. And talking about manifestation, she hated her job. Like she was just working like a job for the sake of it, like didn't really see a future in it. And she sent me a screenshot the other day. She sent to her friend 2 years ago, I would love to be a life coach. That was 2 years ago, before she even met me. And we always say to each other, she found me on TikTok, and we always say to each other, if I never posted that TikTok on that day, you would have never have found me as a coach. You would never have become my client, and you would still be stuck in that job. You would never have this passion, what you do now. For coaching.
It's scary how that works, isn't
the
it?
Butterfly effect is absolutely mad.
I know. I always think about that. Like, what did you say there? The butterfly effect. It's crazy. It's like I do genuinely believe sometimes if you walk down a road and you go left, but maybe if you went right, like your whole life kind of changes in that kind of wee split second decision. It's crazy because again, I've spoke about this as well. I was actually saying this to my dad the other day. I was recording a podcast, but obviously I'm still in like the kind of sling with my elbow, so I've not been driving, so he's been kind of driving me about everywhere. And I remember I had a guest on. Can I announce it? Yeah, I had a guest on. It was this boxer that was on, and yeah, I've been dying to kind of have him on for ages. And then after it, I was saying to him, I was just like, it's actually kind of mad that like, I don't know, I'm sitting here doing podcasts, or even that I'm here like sitting talking to you, because if I didn't have that job at the bank, then it wouldn't have showed me that isn't what I wanted to do. And then I wouldn't have left that place to then go and become a PT. And even when I said, oh, I wish I'd done the kind of crash course, I kind of don't, because I'm like, oh, that would have changed like so many things.
Yeah, 100%. Like every single thing in your life has happened for a reason. Like it's been a building block to get you to where you are now. Like you said before, and I don't regret anything. Like every single thing that I've done, it's been part of this journey, and without that one thing, it might have not got me to where I am now.
100%. It's so crazy to think about like that. That's how life works, isn't it? It's crazy. What is also crazy has been your growth on social media. We need to talk about that. Because I remember, I can't remember how long we've been chatting for on Instagram or whatever. I don't actually remember how it came about, but I remember we were both on 10,000 followers. And then the next week I seen you were at 20k, and I think I actually texted you, you put something in your story, and I was like, oh my God, Bethany, I was pure freaking out for you. And then the fucking week after it was like 100k. I was like, what is going on, man? So how many followers are you sitting with now?
On Instagram, 375k.
Crazy. And TikTok, what about TikTok?
About 550.
It's crazy. And do you deep it? Do you ever deep it, the amount of followers that you've got? 'Cause you've got way more than me, but sometimes I deep it like, oh my God, I've got 70k in TikTok and it's like a lot of people in that. But I don't know, do you deep like that you've got a massive following now? Or
I kind of forget about it, but recently I've actually been stopped in the street quite a few times.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's actually becoming like, holy shit, people watch me on
I
a daily
know.
basis. Like people know who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here in my kitchen with the mic, just uploading content. And
I know.
people know who I am. Like it's scary.
It's a weird feeling sometimes, like not to sit and sound like you're famous or anything, I don't mean that, but see sometimes when you're out in public and like you see somebody kind of maybe looking at you, I stay in quite a small like, kind of wee town in Scotland, so I feel like not to sound pure, it's going to sound like pure whatever big headed, but like you're kind of well known in that area. Sometimes when you're out and people are kind of looking at you know that, and you're like, do they know me, or am I just being like kind of paranoid? Or it's weird, but it's also quite nice. So see, when I like when people come up to you and they just talk away, you won't maybe get this, but see when I go on a night out, I get it so much because I think people are drunk, so they've got like that, they drop that kind of barrier and they're confident and they'll come up to you. But how's it kind of been dealing with that, like people kind of coming up to you and knowing who you are?
It's very weird because obviously in Manchester it's such a huge place, so someone stopped me there. They don't just know me from knowing me at school, it's like they know me from social media. The other day I was in a coffee shop, like in my scruffs, like hair shoved up, just getting my work done on my laptop, and this girl just kept on like looking behind me. I was like, she definitely knows who I am. So she finally said, are you Bethany Dobson? And I was like, yeah, like in that moment, I'm a Bethany Dobson. Who is this?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I follow you on TikTok, and like you just freeze, don't you? And you just, because I'm so new to it, I just don't know what to say.
What do you say? I know, and then
I don't know who you are.
I know, and do you know what I find funny, right? See, when you speak to people, they're probably walking away all nervous, thinking if they've said the right thing. I walk away from those interactions shitting it. I'm like, was that really awkward there? Are they going to go and tell people that like I'm a pure weirdo in real life and stuff? Like I get what you're saying. Like you never know what to respond to that. I know.
It's mad as well. I actually have experienced a little bit of anxiety as well around it. Like when I went on holiday in summer, I went to Greece, and when I came back, I was looking through my Instagram requests and someone said, oh, I was on the same plane as you coming back from Greece, and I was like, oh, fuck, like I've got to watch what I'm doing when I'm out.
Yeah.
Like I actually went through a phase where I actually started to get a lot of gym anxiety, and it was fear of people kind of seeing me in the gym, and I didn't know whether they knew me or not, whether they were judging me, whether they were thinking, oh, she's not doing that properly, she's a PT. And I know no one's thinking that, but I feel like sometimes when you've had a really stressful day, when you're hitting that burnout, and then you try to go to the gym to switch off, but you just get even more anxious because you're just worrying about whether someone's seen you or whether like, it got to me quite a bit. Yeah,
and that's really good for you to actually talk about that as well, because again, I think people would maybe look at you and think, oh, they see you on social media and this big competent person, but it's good for like somebody like yourself who is a PT to be like, no, I still actually get a touch of gym anxiety. It doesn't matter if I've been there 100 times or, you know, I know exactly what it is that I'm doing. Like I still get that. So you're very relatable to people, and I think that's been one of the key things to your success. That was the question that I kind of wanted to ask you, so it ties in nicely. If you could pinpoint something, why do you think you have been so successful? Why do you think your growth was so big and so quick? But I know it's a hard question to answer because you're not going to want to pure bum yourself up. But why do you think you have been so successful?
I think I was posting on social media for like 3 years. So I've been posting on social media for 3 years. The first 2 years, followers were just trickling up. Like there was no real growth there. Like I went from like 0 to 3k, and it was just a friend told a friend about me, and it was just like going up one by one. And then in that period, I was just copying off every other man and the dog. I was taking photos in my gym wear and trying to get bum selfies and stuff. It just wasn't working. Like, it wasn't me, and I knew it wasn't me, and it wasn't working because that's not helping people. I think when you let go of the ego side of it and you just totally break it down and think, why am I doing this? To help people. What do people need help with? Right now, go make content on that and just speak it how it is. Don't try and put an act on for social media. Just, if you've had a shit day, just, you've had a shit day, like, this happens.
Yeah.
And when you just start and be yourself, like, people pick up on that and people appreciate that, because in a world of people just being so fucking fake on social media, you will stand out by a mile for just being yourself, and it should just be the easiest thing to do because it's you.
Yeah, but no, and I really, really like what you just said, because like I said, I think you are so successful because you're so authentic and you are very relatable, and you can tell that what's another word for authentic, but it is really authentic, and it is you as a person. You're not trying to kind of fake somebody. The Don does his research, right? So I actually had a wee scroll back on your Instagram because I wanted to kind of, yeah, that it sounds so weird, but I do my research into all my guests, obviously. So I had a wee scroll back to kind of look down your Instagram, and you can see the change, like you said, like maybe, you know, before you were kind of posting the bum pictures and maybe trying to kind of get the likes and the engagement. And then you can just see that kind of switch where you then start to kind of post more videos of just you talking about yourself and talking about your day and recipes, etc. as well. And yeah, I think that is, it's your niche down to a T. You are very relatable, and that's why I think so many people do, you know, engage with you and engage with your content as well, for sure. And I think then the growth as well, I think it's so hard to wrap your head around when it's that fast. Obviously, I've not really experienced it. Mine's is more like a kind of slow kind of following. But how did it feel going from genuinely like 10,000 followers to 100k? And was it a week? Was it a week or a...
It was, I don't think it was quite as fast as a week. I think I was on, in February, end of February, I was on 6,000 followers. And I hit 100k mid-April. So in just over a month, I went from like 6k to like 100k.
And what post was it in particular you think that you know helped you grow like that?
The thing with me, everyone says like, what post made you go viral? It wasn't just one post, it was just every post.
Okay.
not in a big way, but
no, yeah.
Every post just did kind of like go that little bit further. And I was kind of getting like 50 likes, and then I started to get like 100 likes. And then it was going to like 400 likes, and then like 800 likes, and it just kept on like kind of going up, sort of thing. And I'm really glad that it's been that way, because what I don't want is just to get a load of followers from one viral reel and then be forgotten about. Like I want to help people on every single reel that I put out. So yeah, it's kind of been like every single one. It wasn't like one post that kind of propelled it.
Yeah. And you want to put posts out, like you said, you want an engaged audience, maybe rather than just, you know, randomers from Malaysia, you know, engaging in your content that aren't really going to kind of take away from it as well. I had another personal trainer on, Josh Campbell, and he's like a kind of bodybuilder, but he's in crazy shape, like for being so young. And he was saying very similar things. He posts reels of him like topless posing, and he get millions of views. But he doesn't even rinse them like that much, because he's like, I would rather have like an actual engaged audience of who I'm going to be able to help with, who I'm going to potentially actually be able to kind of transform into clients as well, rather than just, getting millions of kind of views or followers off a kind of random reel.
Yeah, it's mad, because like virality isn't good. It's not good. Everyone when they start social media wants viral posts. They want the post to go far, but most of the time virality comes from hate, and it gets you nowhere, because you just get a lot of people who just give you attention and not actual value. Yeah.
And it was really interesting what you said there as well about dropping your ego, because you were mentioning that you were doing the kind of post, like the typical kind of fitness influencer post, and then you kind of dropped your ego and maybe just put out your personality. Now, were you scared of you know, negativity or receiving kind of bad comments, or I've always spoke about as well, like I was always terrified of people calling me like a pure loser. You know what I mean? Like I'm quite aware that when I started posting like wee recipe videos, that there's probably people out there that thinks, oh, he's a loser posting me recipes. But again, I just got into that phase. I'm like, oh, don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'd rather help people instead of kind of looking flashy on social media as well.
Yeah. I've never really given a fuck.
Have you, right? Okay, you've never, right? Okay.
I've never really cared about what anyone's thought of me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, never.
And I think that will be a reason why you're so successful as well. I think you've not got any barriers up in front of you there, because see, I was one of those people that always cared about what people thought about them. When I first qualified as a personal trainer, I didn't post anything. I didn't start my Instagram. I didn't get logos made because I was just sitting terrified about people thought about me. And then honestly, it was just one day something clicked, and I'm just like, why am I giving a fuck about what these people are thinking about me? And see, since that, you're bulletproof because you post whatever you want. You've got no filter. You can just fully be you. And like you said, that is what ties in with people, and that's what resonates with a lot of people as well. Now, going back on to then the kind of personal training, are you at full capacity? So say if I was a client and I got in touch with you, could I be like that? I want Bethany Dobson as my PT, or are you full right now?
No, I don't take any clients on for myself. And right now, I'm actually transitioning to like not coaching anymore.
Okay.
Because I do have like my solid clients that I've been coaching for like years now.
Your loyal ones, yeah.
My OGs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna continue coaching them. I'm coaching around about 20 clients at the moment. But I am not taking any more clients on, because I got to the point where I was coaching like 50, 60 clients. I was doing sales calls. I was building the business, and I've kind of like stepped in being more of like a CEO now. The business can't grow if I'm in the weeds.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It can't. If, you know, I want Excel doable to the point where like it is the best of the best. We are doing like worldwide events. We are like taking our clients away on like abroad retreats, stuff like that. Like planning that shit could not be done if I'm doing 3 check-in days a week.
Mm.
Plus everything else.
Yeah.
So for me, I haven't took on a new client for myself in about 2 or 3 months now.
Right.
And it's just kind of like I'm just coaching the solid ones, and when they've like finished their journey, then I'm just gonna be there.
Yeah, because I've always wondered that, because you don't really see advertising the kind of PT inside of things that much, and I didn't know if you did have kind of clients or not. So you're saying you actually kind of want to take yourself almost out of the business and be running it from above, and actually be running it as a CEO rather than being actually kind of in the business doing those kind of tasks and that kind of work. Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason why I don't put on client transformations is because I can't deal with it. Okay. Because I get so many inquiries just from posting my day-to-day content. I have posted a client transformation, and within like 2 hours I got like 200 inquiries.
To how many?
About 200 inquiries.
What? So I thought you said 2 or 3, and I was like, what? two actually, to 300. No,
it wasn't actually a client transformation. It was my transformation.
Right. Okay.
And I remember me and Aaron went out on a walk, and like our phones were just pinging. I was like, is something glitched here? Like, what is going on? And we counted it, and then like within 24 hours we got like 150 to 200 inquiries. What? And I was like, we haven't got the back end. We haven't got the coaches. If I post a client testimonial and a client transformation, I don't even know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like posting transformations is like the bread and butter of a personal coaching business.
Yeah.
But I'm too scared to.
Too scared. I don't want that much business. That is actually insane though. Like, it's honestly, it's so inspirational to see like the position that you're at. I cannot believe you're only 22 as well. Because I'm a year older than you, but
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Oh, yeah.
23, yeah, but you seem, I know, but you seem way more mature than me though, but you come across like way more, like you said earlier on the podcast, people have always said what you usually like kind of 3-4 years of above of what you actually are. Is that correct? Yeah. I cannot believe you're only 22 years old and you're running an empire. You are running an empire. Let's just say that's insane. Yeah, it's crazy to see the growth. And so can you then kind of, you don't need to give me an exact amount, but would you share how many clients your team's on? Or you don't need to answer it if you don't want to.
So we don't have like hundreds of clients, but So at the moment in the business we have I think 90 clients, but we are like more of a higher ticket coaching.
Okay.
So we kind of made that transition. So we were kind of selling it more like low ticket, like 150 pound a month, and we realized that we wanted to kind of give a way better service and kind of give people a lot more rather than just kind of doing a check-in once a week. Like we want it to be like their home. We want to support them so much more than that, you know, give them regular calls, plan like I said, like worldwide events that we can kind of like host. And we would much rather have people that are serious, because from where I've came from, when I've made an investment, I have always worked my fucking ass off to actually get myself to that point. And since like doing high ticket coaching now, like the caliber of clients are a total different type of gravy, because like they've just put down a considerable amount of money. They're thinking, shit, I've got to make this work now. They do not miss a check-in.
Yeah.
They tick every single box. And ultimately we get better results because of that.
Yeah.
We haven't got people just thinking, oh yeah, we'll just give you 100 quid and not really care about it. Like it's serious, and I would much rather have a smaller client base, but a closer knit and better quality than just loads.
Yeah, I think that's important for us to talk about as well, because you might not kind of see that side of things, but you do want clients that are going to be like dedicated and committed, because without sounding kind of too cocky, like we're too busy to be like chasing people up for check-ins, etc. as well. So you would much rather have people that you know that are like in it for the long run and that they're actually going to be dedicated, committed and invested in it. Do you then think that like community is like a very, very important part of coaching? Is that right? Yeah.
I think community is a big thing. I think people love the fact that they are part of something with us. Like we have a client group chat, we have like challenges. Like I said, we are planning on events in the next year, so people have got that to look forward to. And
This event's worldwide. Sorry to interrupt you. What do you mean? Can you give away? Nah.
I can.
You don't need to give away anything that you don't
We
want
haven't
to.
got anything set in stone, but I'll tell you what my dreams are.
Okay, just because I'm interested, I've never actually heard like a coach like talk about worldwide events and that. So what?
Yeah, so like my dream is to take, well, probably not all clients, but
Oh, 90.
come on, guys.
Just book out a fucking plane, like, come on. Yeah.
Private jet.
Yeah.
I might need a few more clients.
Yeah. maybe, yeah.
So I would absolutely love to do like a retreat.
Okay.
So where we take a handful of clients out to like Dubai or Portugal or like Marbella in the summer and do like a full-on fitness retreat. Maybe we do a photo shoot out there. We do like yoga classes. We do like goal setting, and it's just like a massive, just unbelievable event. Like you've never heard of anyone do that before.
I was literally just about to say that. I've never heard of anybody.
Don't pitch my idea.
Yeah, nobody steal it. Even if you do steal it, it's not going to be as good as yours. Definitely not. But genuinely, I've never heard anybody even talk about that. But that's really interesting though, because I think a lot of people would maybe thought, oh, that sounds like impossible, or that's going to be too hard to do. Whereas with yourself, you're just like, nah, like you get something in your head, I want to fucking do this.
Yeah, because I want doable. It's not just online coaching. Like it's an experience. I want it to be a transformational experience for you. It's not just a PT that you get and we lose a few pounds. Like we're fucking changing your life here. Like you are coming in, like having no confidence, wearing baggy clothes, like overweight, to getting to the point where like you're going and wearing like crop tops, like you're feeling good and sexy in your lingerie. Like you can actually tell your boss that you want a pay rise. Like we want you to get to that point where you are just unstoppable and you just know your potential, because I believe that every single person is the same. Like no one is different. Like no one is different, but your mindset, everyone's mindset's stopping them.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who like has a dream can achieve it, and I want to show everyone that. I want to give everyone that kind of belief and support that they can get there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want. I don't want it to just be like you check in for 12 weeks and then I'll see you later. I want it to be much bigger than that, where like we are your bread and butter.
Yeah. No, that's just so interesting to see the way that you kind of look at everything and just thinking it pretty much like anything is possible. No, that's amazing. And honestly, I've got no doubt in my mind that next year we're going to be seeing these worldwide events as well. Dubai would be absolutely mental, man. Anywhere would be mental, to be honest with you. It doesn't matter the setting. So let's talk about something else that you've been very, very busy with. The cookbook is just launched. How's it going?
Absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, I knew that it was going bonkers, but yeah, no, I wanted to ask you in person. So, how was that a case of this was something that's been in the pipeline for ages, or was it just kind of spur of the moment? You're like, oh, I should really put out a cookbook.
So I've been posting like recipe videos now for like 3 years, and I always got the odd message like, "Are you going to make a cookbook? Are you going to do it? Are you not?" And once my followers started growing, I was like, I need to do this. Like, it's something that's going to help a lot of people. A lot of people can't afford, well, not that they can't afford, but they're not ready to invest in themselves to the extent of coaching. And I still wanted to like support people from that point as well. And I wanted to make a passive form of income. So I remember in sort of April, I hit like 100k followers. And I started inquiring to like some photographers to get the photos and stuff like that. And finally got a photographer, Georgie. She's absolutely amazing. So she did all my photography for my ebook. And then from there, like everyone always tells me like delegate. Like you're already so burnt out as it is. Like you're spinning so many plates, delegate.
Yeah.
But no.
No, I'm the same as well. People, I'm always constantly moaning about how busy I am, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I've started learning Spanish, and people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Do you know what I mean? It's the same as you. You're so busy, and then you're like, oh guys, I'm releasing a cookbook, and that's going to put so much more stress on me.
Yeah.
So how long then was the kind of the preparation for getting the cookbook ready?
Yeah, so we did the photos like end of July, and then we obviously launched it mid-October. But I have literally made the ebook. Like I didn't get a graphic designer to do it. Like I sat on Canva.
I seen that
every single night. Like ask Aaron. I have literally been my screen time is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't even tell anyone that.
But it's for productive reasons. It's not because you're sitting scrolling on TikTok. So yeah, I'll let you away with it.
And I inquired to like graphic designs and stuff, but no one seen my vision. Like no, I knew how I wanted it, and like I was just like, I'm just gonna get the job done myself. So yeah, launched in October, like literally 3 weeks ago.
And how can you say how many sales it's done? Not in terms of how much you've made, but copies. No, you couldn't even say that.
No, I can.
Oh, you can. Right, go for it. I want to know. I'm so nosy.
It's fucking crazy. Like, I remember, so we had pre-launch on the Friday and then launch was the Sunday. Pre-launch was just for email list users only. So the email list went out. The email went out with like the secret link on. I refreshed my Stripe in a minute and I made $1,000.
What?
$1,000 in a minute.
What? And this was just the pre-launch?
This was pre-launch.
What?
Just from people on my email list.
And is this people going on and pre-ordering the book?
So it's not a physical book, it's an ebook.
I like the ebook, sorry, it's them going on and pre-ordering the ebook, is that correct?
So no, they got it.
Oh, they actually got
it, yeah.
Ah, right, okay, sorry, it was sorry, right, okay, that's me just being stupid, so it's been a long day. So this was you, like, launching the book before it had actually officially been out, is that correct?
So
right,
it was like,
okay.
it was like scarce to only email list.
Oh, right, okay, I'm with you.
So it wasn't out to Instagram, it was
okay.
like, if you're on my email list,
yep.
you can get the book before anyone else.
Okay, so you made $1,000 pretty much in a pre-sale in 1 minute, yeah?
In 1 minute. And then within 24 hours, we made $40,000.
What, man? Honest to God, that's frying my nut.
That's from pre-launch.
What, man? That is insane. So it was a good idea then to do the cookbook, yeah?
Was it?
That is crazy, man. But I think you've launched it at the perfect time as well. You didn't want to go too early with it. And were you cautious? Were you wanting your following to kind of grow and grow and grow before you launched it, or was it strategic like that?
No, I wanted it out as soon as possible.
Right. Okay.
Like I wasn't even that bothered about like kind of how much money we made from it. Like I didn't know what to expect because I've never released a physical product before. Well, it's not physical, but like an actual product rather than a service. So I didn't know what to expect at all. But I think because a lot of people just do have trust in me, and I can say myself, like, it is a fucking good cookbook. Like I haven't just whipped it up on Canva within a night. Like I've spent some solid graft on this. Like every single thing that you need is in there. And
in what way? So it's not just recipes in?
So there's like a guide on how to like lose fat and calculate your calories. There's obviously macros in there, but I've created like a community group as well on top of that. So we've got 2,500 people inside a Facebook community group, and every single evening we have like accountability talks. Like everyone's always supporting each other. Like whenever anyone has a question, you've got someone else answering them. So without even intention, we've created like another little community inside the cookbook. So it's not just a book. Like if you've got this book, you're part of this community, which is like, it's like close knit. It's like so nice to be part of.
And is that then, so do they just pay a one-off payment, they get the ebook, and then that's them just in the kind of community then for pretty much forever, until it goes on? That's amazing. I think community, like I said, sorry, earlier on the podcast, it is so important, given people, because see, some people that bought your cookbook, you need to kind of realise as well, like, they might not have anything in their life. Like, there genuinely will be people out there that they probably like look forward to seeing your recipes, to seeing you coming on their page. So, yeah, just actually being able to kind of be involved in that, and it, like you said, it is more than a cookbook. I just assumed that it was just like, obviously, the recipes, some of the recipes, like the macros and stuff, the instructions. I didn't realise like all the kind of extra stuff that it's got with it as well. 40 grand in 24 hours, G. You're 20 fucking 2. What the fuck is going on, man? That's crazy. And the sales just kind of been going and going and going. And that'll just be like a kind of constant thing then, because people like, like Zach Chug and people like that, obviously they've done the recipe book as well. But yeah, it just seems like passive income pretty much all the time. Because obviously at the launch, it's going to be like at the pinnacle, and then you'll maybe see it kind of slow down. But then all you need to then do is just kind of post about it again, and then boom, that's sales, aye.
Yeah.
Gee.
And it's mad, really. Like it's weird. Like the money is one thing, and obviously I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I don't do it for the money, because you do. Like I wouldn't just be sitting here doing it for the good of my health. Like you do it for money. Everyone does it for money. But like I genuinely love scrolling through that Facebook group on a daily basis and like seeing all the comments. Like I didn't have to make that Facebook group. Like I don't have to reply to most people on that Facebook group every night. But honestly, like for about an hour every single night, I sit in that Facebook group and I reply to people that aren't even giving me anything for it. Like that, you're paying for the rest of the book. You're not paying for the group. And that's just because I want to. Like I genuinely just love seeing the thing. I just find it mad that I've sat in my apartment making something, and now people are like making the recipes. Like I've seen photos of people with these recipes. I'm like, I thought of that idea like a couple of months ago. Now you're making it with your family. Like
It's mental, I know.
That's mad.
I know.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy. And yeah, like every single day, it's still turning over. Every single day I go on, there's
Yeah.
good.
But that's amazing. You deserve it. Obviously, for putting such a hard work and graft into it, 100%, you deserve it. And like you said, the fact that you can even come up with ways that, it isn't just a cookbook with normal recipes on it. It's different. You've got a community on there. You've got ways to calculate how much calories you need to lose weight, etc. as well. So I love it, G. I love it. You're a business mogul, man. You're a business mogul. I love it. So you've already then kind of like spoke about this to kind of come to the conclusion. What do you see the future looking like? What do you see as like happiness for you in the future?
Yeah, well, that's a good question.
It's deep, isn't it?
Yeah, like
kind of generic, but fuck it.
Whose podcast?
Yeah.
I think happiness wise, like I am very happy like where I am. Do you know what? Going back to like, I know you said before, like how did it feel going from like 10 to 100k followers? And do you know what? Getting to 10k followers was the the biggest achievement out of all. Hitting 300k, hitting like 500k on TikTok, like it's whatever, but hitting that first 10k, no feeling match that. Like that was the best ever, because
It's a good buzz,
that's
man.
like, it's like unlocking this whole world. But when you get to 100, like, and then the first 100k is like, all right, yeah, we're in triple digits now, like it's kind of cool. And then after that, it's just kind of
Numbers.
Like, it's just numbers. And I think if you get your head caught too much into it, it's just you can get yourself wound up. And I just like to look at it and I'm like, it's gonna just go up, or it'll just stay the same for a bit, or whatever happens. But we're not doing it for the numbers, because you've got everything that you need now. Like my business isn't gonna stop growing if I stay at 375k followers. Like I've still got so much more potential there. So like there's no need to chase extra numbers just for the sake of it. But I think happiness for me is genuinely like just doing more for people. Like I don't really care about making more. Like obviously I do want to make more money. Like next year, me and Aaron have put a goal of like making £1 million. But
Okay. You're going to do it 100%. 100%. I'll get no doubt about it.
But I'm not chasing that. That's just something like on the side that that would be cool if that kind of happened. But the only way that that's really going to happen and that feel good to happen is if I'm helping people. And that's why we want to give back to so many people, like our clients, like take them away, take them on this like huge retreat, give them the opportunity of these things, and just continue helping people. Like every single day I will continue to spend 3 hours a day thinking about content, thinking about what people need help with, and producing that. I just want to help more people. That including like my family as well. So one of my biggest goals, I hope she's not watching this, hopefully she isn't, but I would love to buy my mum like a brand new car.
I love that.
I love to do that, because like I said, growing up we didn't really have much money. Like it was just you got what you needed sort of thing. You didn't really have much luxury. And I would love to just like surprise one day and just be like,
yeah, hopefully mummy's not watching this, man. She's
I'm not telling her about this.
She's going to be like pure looking for a Range Rover, pulling up to her driveway like every morning now, like, where is it, Bethany? Where is it? But no, that is amazing. That really, really is. The fact that obviously you talked at the start of the podcast that you've not really came from much money, so like now your kind of goal, now that you do have money, is to give back to the people that obviously supported you the most. And yeah, no, that would be pretty cool to do. I've always thought about that as well, like just buying your mum and dad like a house or a car or something, like how rewarding that would feel. But that's amazing that's one of the things that obviously sticks out to you, that's what you want to do. Yeah, amazing. Well, listen, Bethany, it's been an absolute amazing conversation. I was so buzzing to obviously actually do this podcast. It's the first podcast that you've done.
First buddy.
How did it go?
I feel like it went all right.
Enjoy it? No, it went really, really well. Honestly, you always, I think we've been doing it, what, an hour and a half or something?
Yeah, it's absolutely flown over.
It does, it flew in, man, because I remember, obviously, I announced that I was starting the podcast when I was in Dubai. That was just like, again, pure, I was just sitting at the pool with Megan, and I was like, I want to start a podcast, and I was like, fuck it, I get the logo made that day, like, get everything made. And I remember I texted you, and I was like, start the podcast, like, I would love if you came on. You said, yeah, and I was like, oh my God, this is class, like, Bethany's going to come on and that. And then I remember, obviously, I tried to get you to come up to Glasgow, but it's hard to do, see, when you're obviously down in England. And then I went on your close friends on Instagram, and you'd put up something like, like 10 people have asked you to do a podcast. I literally phoned a studio in Manchester, and I'm like, hi, if you get availability, like ASAP, man, and come down so I can have you as like the first person that's not the first person that's been my podcast, sorry, you. What the fuck am I trying to say? It has been
my first podcast.
Yes.
Your channel.
Thank you. Thank God you're here. It's been a long day. I've been on trains since 6 a.m. to get here on my way home right after. No, but genuinely, thank you so much for coming on, because I know you're a really busy girl. And yeah, I think honestly, Bethany, the sky's the absolute limit for you, 100%. You are very, very inspirational. Again, I cannot believe, I'm saying you're only 22. I know I'm obviously only 23, but I can't believe how young you are, but how successful you are, driven you are. And what I love about you, and what I know that I love other people love about you, is the fact that, you know, you have grown massively, you're doing very, very well for yourself, but you've not really let it change you. You still stay very grounded, you're very authentic, relatable as well. So yeah, no, you deserve every bit of success, man, for sure.
Yeah, and going back to what you just said there, I heard this quote from a podcast that I've listened to, and it's so true. Like fame, and I know I'm not like Beyonce famous, but more people know me compared to what
you will be. Yeah.
Fame doesn't change you, it changes how people treat you. And I think that's huge, because like if you ask anyone who's known me a long time, like I literally just haven't changed. Like I've just always been me. Yeah. And like it just changes the way that other people see you. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, no, 100%. And no, listen, keep doing you, because like you're changing people's lives as well, and it's so interesting as well. Genuinely having a conversation, I feel motivated just sitting having a conversation with you, feeling like I should be doing fucking more. Do you know what I mean? I should be doing more things. But no, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully we'll do it again at some point soon.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a blast.
Yes, Bethany Dobson, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Thank you, G. Appreciate it. Woo, easy days, man.